Olá. Boa tarde. Bom dia, né? Boa tarde ainda não chegou. Olá, meu nome é Deilson Silva. Obrigado por terem voltado do Coffee Break. Tava bom? Legal. Bem-vindos novamente. Nós agora falaremos sobre 10.2. Falaremos e mostraremos algumas novidades do 10.2. 10.2, uma das mudanças foi virar uma plataforma. Até o ano passado, nós mencionávamos o sistema ArcGIS. Hoje a gente fala plataforma ArcGIS. Por quê? Porque realmente, agora, ele se tornou uma peça fundamental para apoiar as nossas decisões de negócio. É uma plataforma completa. Desktop, servidores, cloud, móvel e vários tipos de clientes. Com essa plataforma, é possível unir esforços para melhorar, para mudar o mundo. O mundo que nós vivemos, as dificuldades que nós passamos como cidadão, como profissionais também. Contar histórias. Nós veremos várias aplicações no decorrer do evento que contam histórias. Histórias através de mapas. Mapas que fazem-nos pensar e refletir no momento que o país vive. Podemos tomar melhores decisões, unindo a geografia, a inteligência geográfica, a plataforma e o nosso conhecimento, e aplicar para resolver problemas de negócio. Com a plataforma, a gente pode mudar e melhorar a vida das pessoas. Podemos fazer com que um problema seja resolvido e possa ser também evitado. Na semana passada foi aniversário do meu filho e ele me deu um presente. Ele me deu uma caixa que está escrito "Papai, eu te amo". É uma caixa de papel, ele desenhou a caneta, mas, comparação com a plataforma, ele teve um propósito. Ele queria dizer para mim que me amava. O propósito da nossa plataforma é resolver problemas de negócio. É fazer com que pessoas possam ser ajudadas, beneficiadas. Esse é o grande propósito. Como o propósito dele foi me agradar, e conseguiu, o nosso propósito tem que ser mais do que utilizar a tecnologia, mas criar um mundo melhor para todos. Esse é o objetivo da plataforma ArcGIS 10.2. E é hora de nós compartilharmos essa experiência. Todos nós. Não só nesse momento, na plenária, mas durante esses 2 dias. Queria chamar agora Derek Law para falar conosco sobre ArcGIS Online e contar uma história para nós.
Thank you, Deilson. So I'm here to talk about ArcGIS as a platform that enables this concept of WebGIS that you guys have all heard about all morning. And as you can see from this concept slide, it's a really easy concept to understand. At the top of the slide, we have several different client types. It could be desktop, could be web applications, and as Chris also highlighted, it could be mobile devices, smartphones, and tablets. All of these client applications can consume GIS resources and maps from a portal, which is featured in the center of the diagram. And this portal has a very easy-to-use interface and is powered by several components on the back end, which are shown at the bottom of the slide. We have data servers, such as ArcGIS for Server, and also data and content. And this is available in the cloud or on premises. So at the heart of this is ArcGIS Online. And as you know, it's a complete system. Now, it's evolved over the last couple of years from a simple sharing framework to become a key component of the ArcGIS platform. Let's take a look. Now, this is ArcGIS.com. And as you can see, it's the Esri view of the ArcGIS Online platform. And we can see we have featured applications. I can also click the gallery, and we've provided for our Esri user community several different pieces of data and maps and applications, in this case for our Brazilian community. Now, you're not limited to the Esri view of ArcGIS Online. You can have your own custom view of ArcGIS Online through ArcGIS Online organizations. This is an example of the Federal Emergency Management Agency ArcGIS Online view. We have another example here of the National Map Agency for Brazil. And finally, we have another example here of network studies from this RIMA organization. Now, if I want to, I'm going to go back to ArcGIS.com and I will sign in so I can view my own ArcGIS Online organization. So I'm going to sign in. And as I sign in, you'll notice now my view of ArcGIS Online will change in the browser. In fact, I've set up an organizational view for a geoportal for the city of Sao Paulo, as you can see. And in this organization, I actually have 5 members, and I can change their permissions. Every member in my organization can have a unique login, and I can assign their permissions. They can be users, publishers, or administrators. If I click the home link, you'll see I have my custom view of ArcGIS Online. So here we have our own custom banner, we have our featured applications, and we have a gallery. And I want to emphasize that ArcGIS Online is not just a pretty-looking website. It is, but it's actually a map-centric content management system. So it allows you to register and store your GIS resources, your maps, models that you create in ArcGIS Desktop, as well as other documents such as PDF files or Excel files or PowerPoints. I can click the gallery link here, and again, I may provide for my organization some key pieces of data that members may find useful, such as location of census data, a geomorphology map, or buildings. In addition, if I click the Groups link, you can model your organization's business units into ArcGIS Online. Now, in this case, I only have 4 groups, but I've modeled 2 example business units, the City Planning Group and the Emergency Services. And if I click on one of these groups, I can view the resources of this content management system that might be useful for members of this group. Now, ArcGIS Online is great, but I'm sure a majority of us work in ArcGIS Desktop. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to sign in to my ArcGIS Online organization. Once I sign in, you're going to see that I'm going to solve a problem with ArcGIS Desktop. Now, what you're looking at here is street data for downtown Sao Paulo, along with some police stations. And I've been given a problem by my manager. I'm playing the role of a GIS professional where I work in Desktop quite a bit and I do analysis. And the problem I've been given by my manager is to calculate the police response time to a crime incident. In other words, my manager wants me to determine how quickly the police can leave the police station and respond to a crime incident within a certain amount of time, perhaps 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes. This is a service area calculation. And to do this, I would have to build a network data set, apply the appropriate attributes, and then do my analysis. And that's a lot of work. But now that I've signed into ArcGIS Online, I have these resources available. First, I'm going to show you the ArcGIS Online dialog. And again, because I have signed in, I'm going to be able to view my ArcGIS Online organizational account, as you saw earlier, and I can view all my resources as well as my different groups. But I'm going to close this dialog, and what I want to highlight for you is something new that we added to ArcGIS Online earlier this year. We have some ready-to-use services. And I'm going to open up this logistics geoprocessing service and open up the service area's geoprocessing task. And by opening up this task, what I'm going to be able to do is run a service area calculation. Now, this is significant. What this means is by opening up this tool inside desktop, as a GIS professional, I can do my high-end analysis on my machine, but I'm actually pulling functionality from ArcGIS Online. That functionality is there. In my case, there's a network data set already in the cloud. There's the attributes already in the cloud, and I'm going to run this analysis. So first, I'm going to choose the police stations layer. I'm going to apply my break times to 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10-minute response times. And what's really cool is I have this time of day option. I'm going to click this button and simply click Now. I am going to incorporate real-time traffic data. And the last parameter I'm going to choose is I'm going to make sure all the polygons merge by break value. Now, as a GIS professional, I can apply a whole bunch of other attributes, such as factoring in construction or road closures. But I'm going to leave it simple and just run a simple analysis right now. Now, you're looking at the street data, and I want to emphasize to you that as I do the analysis, I'm actually going to show real-time live traffic data. So I'm going to drag this into ArcMap. And this is a service that we provide worldwide. It gets updated every 5 minutes. And once it's added to ArcMap, what you're going to see is some color-coded values that will show the live real-time traffic flow in downtown Sao Paulo. Here it is. Pretty cool. This gets updated every 5 minutes. And notice as well in the lower right-hand corner, my geoprocessing task ran successfully. Now I'm going to, you can see the green lines represent good traffic, the yellow lines represent, moderate traffic, and we're lucky, maybe not for the person, but there's a car accident here, so we can detect it. So I'm going to turn off the World Traffic Live Service, which we used as part of our service area calculation, and now I'm going to display the service areas. So you can see here now, I have my police stations, and I have my calculated response times. Basically, my light pink polygons represent areas in the city where the police can respond within 10 minutes based on current traffic conditions. The green polygons represent 5 minutes response time, and we have some dark pink polygons which represent 2-minute response time. Now this is great, and as a GIS professional, I have this data in memory on my ArcMap on my desktop. But what makes ArcGIS and the platform story so powerful is I can now take data on my machine and share it with other people in my organization. And I'm going to do that. So I'll go to File, Share as a Service. I'll publish a service. And I'm going to create a hosted service. I'm going to take this data and upload it into the ArcGIS Online Cloud. So notice it's going to go in my organization, and I'm going to call it Police Response Service Area. I have the option to make either tiled data or featured data, but for now, I'm going to make it featured data. And because I'm really good about my work, I've provided metadata for my map so that people can search and find this. They can find it on public safety, emergency services, and police. I'll click Publish. And what's happening now is the data on my machine, those service area polygons, are getting packaged up, and they're going to get pushed and uploaded into my ArcGIS Online organization. Now, it's going to take a couple of minutes, so in the interest of time, I've actually gone ahead. I'm going to go to My Content, and I've already pre-published the service. So if I scroll down here, you can see we have the police response service areas. And this feature service of my polygons are now available for every other member of my organization to access and use. Okay? So let's give it a... You can see it's been published successfully. So I'll hit OK. Oh, let's reload. Okay, let's open up Firefox. Okay. Back to my content. And now that the service is published, I called it Police Response Service Area. You guys saw that. I'll click on it. Good old Firefox. Firefox is good. I can add it to the map, okay? So now I could be any member of my organization, and I'm viewing the data from the desktop analyst, right? This is extremely powerful. I could be a GIS manager or a team lead. More importantly, I can also add my own data. So I'm going to search for layers and search for the police stations that I've already shared as a service. So I will add those police station locations. And here we are. We have our police stations. Now, I've made my own little map. And what I might want to do now is share it with other people. So I can save this map, and I'll call this Police Response Map. Give it a tag of Police Service Area. And I'll copy the name again, Police Response Map. And I'll save it. Now, this is a big deal. I'm saving it as a web map. Now, what this means is, think back to that concept slide earlier, the web map can now be opened by desktop, web applications, smartphones, and my tablets. So I can share it with other people. Next, I want to play a different role now. I could be a non-GIS professional, maybe a regular analyst, working for a different city department, and I look at spreadsheets. We know that Microsoft Excel is probably the #1 used business analysis tool. And I'm looking specifically at a spreadsheet of the reported crimes in Sao Paulo for the first quarter of 2013. You can see we have dates, times, addresses, the neighborhoods, and also the crime itself. Now, as an analyst using spreadsheet data, I do not know much about GIS, or I may know nothing about GIS. But I can also participate in the ArcGIS online ecosystem. Once again, I'm going to log in, and I'm going to sign into my ArcGIS online organization. And what I can do next is I can actually take the spreadsheet data and spatially enable it. So very similar to adding a graph or a chart in Excel, I can do it here. I can add a map. More importantly, I can search. And I'm going to search in my organization for the police response map that I just made. And now I can add it to my Excel spreadsheet. So the analyst made the service areas, the manager made a web map, and now as a non-GIS expert, I also see these service areas. And what I can do now is really cool. I can select all my crime data, and I can actually geocode it. So I'm going to add the Excel data and geocode it. I pick address. Next, I'm going to choose the country, in this case, Brazil. Esri Maps for Office, which is an add-in that you install inside Excel, is smart enough to auto-detect the fields, and I'm going to click Add. So I have roughly 3,300 records in this spreadsheet that, from this machine, are now being geocoded inside ArcGIS Online. And it's using a locator service. And it's going to return those results to me and store it in my Excel spreadsheet, which is really powerful. I have now allowed the analyst who is not a GIS professional to work with my GIS resources and data inside ArcGIS Online, and also take their spreadsheet data and plot it on a map and visualize it. Now, for those of us who are GIS professionals, this functionality seems really basic. But for regular data analysts, this is a big deal. Now, because I have all these records, the software is smart enough to automatically cluster the points. Let me zoom in here. And I can change the clusters. And notice, as I hover over a cluster, I can certainly click on an event, and I can see the information about that crime incident. Or I also have the option to uncluster it. So I can show the raw points. Now, the other big deal is, as an analyst using Excel, I could save it in the Excel file, I could export it to PowerPoint, or I can take my geocoded results and once again post it and share it back to ArcGIS Online. So I'll go to Share, Share Layer, and now I'm going to call this Crime Incidents Q1, or 2013 Q1. And I can share it to specific groups, in this case, my emergency services. So what's happening now is, again, the geocoded results that are on my machine are now going to be shared as a feature service back to ArcGIS Online. So other members of my organization can view and access and work with this data. This is great. It's an awesome collaboration and sharing story. Depending on what members of my organization need, they can view different pieces of data. So this time I will go back to Firefox, and I'm not going to go to Chrome. Okay. And again, I can take those geocoded results, I've shared them as a service, and I can search for it. So I'll click Add, and I'll search for it. Police, or no, sorry, I called it Crime Incidents, I think. Oh, let's try crime. Here we go. And I can add that feature service. So this is excellent. And once again, thank you, yes. We're all clapping for Esri Maps for Office and Firefox, right? Firefox. Once again, I can save this as a new web map. So I'll choose Save As, and I'll call it Police Response and Crime and 2013 Q1 Crime Data. I'll change the summary, and I'll save the map. Now, I want to finish off my demo with one last piece, which is we have these web maps. I've demonstrated the interactivity between different roles, and I can share a web map, which can be consumed from a variety of clients. I can also quickly and easily build a website or build a web application. If I choose to share this web map with my emergency services, we have this functionality where I can make, I'm going to share the data, I can make a web application. This is very powerful. I don't write code, and I can quickly and easily, without writing any code, build and create a website. All these templates are built on JavaScript, which means they can be opened in a variety of different clients. My personal favorite is the basic viewer, so I can publish that website or I can preview it, and what is happening now is that template will be auto-populated by the contents of the web map. And it will have some core functionality, such as changing base maps, printing, etc. So this is awesome. I have a website that I can quickly deploy. Now, we've been talking about crime. Those of you who I have met know that I'm from Canada, and I'm actually a big football fan, soccer football fan. So I know that World Cup 2014 is coming, and a colleague of mine, John Fry, built this very cool, simple application using the story map template that shows you the 2014 World Cup stadiums. So as it loads, you can see, again, without writing any code, he has this website which shows you the different stadium locations, and you can click on a different point, and you can view details about that. Okay. Congratulations on winning the Confederation Cup 2 months ago. I saw Brazil beat Spain, a fantastic game. Okay. So let me summarize what I showed. We set up an ArcGIS Online organization. And in the first demo, you saw me as a GIS professional use ArcMap. I did some analysis using the GP tasks and services from ArcGIS Online to create a service area. Then as a GIS manager, I saved a web map, which was then used by someone else in my organization who is not a GIS professional, and they were in Excel. They geocoded their addresses, and then they shared their content which the GIS manager then was able to make a web map from. This is the power of the ArcGIS platform and WebGIS. Thank you very much. Let me introduce my esteemed colleague, Juan Carlos Tarazona, and he's going to talk about 3D in ArcGIS.
Good morning. You almost got it right, Derek. It's Tarazona.
Sorry.
Almost. Bom, vocês já podem tirar os seus auriculares, porque eu vou fazer a minha apresentação em português. Ainda considerem que eu sou venezuelano, não sou brasileiro. É a minha terceira língua, mas acho que vai dar certo. Então, estou muito empolgado de apresentar para vocês algumas das novas ferramentas 3D para desktop que desenvolvimos para a versão 10.2. O conteúdo 3D está gerando muito interesse. E cada ano tem muita mais demanda. Isso gera um desafio muito grande. Como é que nós podemos fazer a nossa cidade 3D? Bom, muitas cidades estão gerando as suas informações essenciais numa vista como esta aqui, ou seja, em 3D. Em 2D, desculpe. Mas, no desktop, mas o que os usuários realmente querem ou gostariam é de uma formosa vista 3D como essa aqui, onde eles possam ver os dados que eles já possuem. Né? No passado, esse processo de fazer um modelo 3D da cidade era muito custoso e feito à mão, geralmente. E à medida que a cidade cresce e muda, esses modelos são construídos, mas rapidamente ficam desatualizados. Com as ferramentas do ArcGIS 3D para cidades, nós podemos, acelerar e melhorar esse processo, fazer mais rápido. Então, deixe-me mostrar como podemos levar uma cidade com dados em 2D para uma cidade compartilhável em 3D, só em 3 passos. É incrível, só 3 passos. Então, o primeiro passo é adicionar o seu modelo de dados 2D para o modelo de dados 3D. Os fluxos de trabalho 3D incluem ferramentas que permitem gerar esquemas e bases de dados localizados. Okay? E importar os dados, os elementos que já existem. Já seja com o modelo de dados do governo local, ou CityGML, ou os esquemas personalizados. Tá? Então, nesse caso, depois o que vocês têm que fazer é mapear os atributos dos elementos 2D para o esquema de dados do modelo 3D. Isso nos leva para o segundo passo, que é tirar as marcas de construção 2D e gerar fachadas 3D texturizadas. Então, para isso, usamos uma nova ferramenta na versão 10.2 que permite levar essas marcas de prédios 2D usando regras do City Engine dentro do ArcGIS Desktop. Então, o que temos que fazer é apontar a nossa camada de marcas de prédios, selecionar o pacote de regras de fachadas com texturas, né, que é esse arquivo ali, e depois dizer o arquivo de saída, que é um arquivo multipath 3D, que é o que vai ter a informação em relevo. Então, nesse caso, vou chamar de Building